And we're back. Welcome back. This is officially episode 1 of the Feral Femme CEO Podcast. I'm your host, Amber Feral. I did a play on words if you couldn't tell. Anyways, that's the fun part of this. Actually being able to talk to everyone and getting myself out there is the fun part. But anyways, so on episode 1, we're just going to talk about, the steps leading to here, why I decided to do this, what we're doing in life, and what our goals are, and just touch on a couple of the topics that I will be discussing more in depth on each episode. So, with that being said, hey, it's me, Amber. I have naturally curly hair. I don't do this. Actually, I do this every time I get out of the shower. So, yes, I do this every day, but it's all me. It's naturally curly hair. I've been trying to grow it out for a couple of years now, and I'm finally getting the length back. So if you follow me on TikTok or anything like that, you see my little hair days and whatnot. I'm a lover of all things like owls. I don't know if you can see from here, but my mama made those from stuff I like. I was like, hey, make these. She's super artistic. I love all things owl. I'm a very loud, obnoxious person too. So if I get too loud for you, just turn the volume down a little bit. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm a wife and a mother. I just have one child, my Lizzie Ray, my Biz. So you may hear me call her a bunch of names, but mainly it's Lizzie Ray, Biz. Her name is Lizzie Ray. That is her very first full name. It's not Liz or anything like that. I can't stand that. I did not name her a name to be shortened. I don't mind if you call her Lizzie. But Liz is a no-go. Please and thanks. I'll call her Biz. She likes lizard. Anything Izzy. Her little cousins call her Izza Ray. It's so cute. Anyway. She's also known as Lizzie Ray Rainbow from one of my nephews. So yeah, all the names. She's my baby. She's my one and done. Justin and I decided at first, and I know this is going to sound cruel, but I didn't want children at all. And then Justin and I got together, got married, and we were like, hey, let's have a baby. And we were like, all right, we're going to have a baby. And she's like the best little human in the world. And if mothers, fathers, mothers especially, with daughters that have their attitude, because she is me. But she's also her father. So it's kind of like a double whammy, and it's rough on us, but in a good way. So yeah, she is our only child. I will not be having any more children. If you follow me on social media, you know that I went through tubal removal surgery back in November. So your girl can't have any more babies. How I explain it is the factory is all there, but the conveyor belts do not work. So yeah. That's what we got going on for that. And then also we homeschool her. She does online homeschooling, and we love it because she gets to be with us. She travels to see her great grandparents every so often. She'll stay with them for a while in South Dakota. So that's a pretty cool little neat thing she does, and she gets to explore the world and learn how the real world works. So that's awesome. Justin and I have been married for 12 years now. Yes, 12 years. We've been together for just over 15. Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been so much fun. We started out. We bought a house together before we got married, and then had babies, or had a baby. But yeah, it's so crazy to think about all the things that we've done from 2010 to now, and that's insane. But we also own an automotive repair shop, so I will be definitely talking about that as well, a little bit of shop talk, about not just like how we feel like businesses are ran and what we should do, also customer service and how like what customers like what our expectations versus reality, especially in business and dealing with the general public, which man. And when you want to talk about like getting me riled up and cussing, that's one of them moments that I will do that. We're going to talk about just locality here, where we're from, just as well as I'll talk about a lot of the times we travel, because we do that quite a bit as well. And then also, I'm trying to think of what else, what my brain, I have like a little thing that I've been going off of, but I don't want to be scripted. And y'all know me, you know that I'm an authentic person. I can't stand for someone to be all one way in front of a camera or on social media and then another outside. When you see me, like you see me, I'm the same person no matter what. So yeah. Oh yes, I'll also be talking about my love of thrifting. Your girl loves to thrift. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the times it's mostly clothes. Like, I'll tell you right now, I will say this is from Shein, but it's like thrifting. But yeah, I thrift all the time. All my clothes are thrifted, and I do thrift certain other things as well. Like furniture or like little pieces to decorate with or things for the shop or however I need to do it. Something I need or something I want, or I'll even see something that somebody's like, hey, I'm looking for this. Can you grab it if you see it? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. One of my favorite thrifting finds are definitely like vintage clothing that are not super vintage. And you know where I'm going with this. These people are like, oh, yes, this is from the early 2000s. It's vintage. Bitch, no, it's not. It's not considered vintage yet. We're not vintage yet, even though the technical definition of vintage is 25 years or older. Kind of upset about it. If I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to lie about that. I'm kind of upset that it's 25 years old and it's considered vintage, which is crazy. Because I'm like, oh, yeah. And then also, when I think 30 years ago, I think of 1970. I don't think of 1990, which is insane to me to think about. Because that's insane. Why? Why is 1990 30 years ago? Well, technically 35. Shush. So, yeah, insane. And on top of thrifting, we'll do health and wellness. I am not a certified nutritionist or like a certified trainer. However, I do have connections with a ton of cool people that do those things, and I will be pulling some information from them, as well as just giving you my story on it. I've been going through a health and wellness transformation for about 2 years. I'm finally on, like, you know how when you go through something and you start here and you want to make it up that mountain? Well, I've been doing this, and there's been lots of valleys in those, between those mountains. And I'm finally on the uptick to get on top of the mountain, to get back down, like to do the things over and help other people get up that mountain with me. So yeah, if you follow me on social media, you see that I try to post every morning when I get up and get ready to go work out. I try to give as much motivation as possible to my friends, to you, and to my family, just to show that it is possible. It's not a friend of mine, not a friend. I follow a Higher Up Wellness podcast as well. Michael Smoke, I think is his name. He always says it's not easy, but it is simple. And it is so true. And it really like hit me when he said that it's not easy, but it is simple. It's literally consistency, doing the same thing over and over and over again. And this isn't the insanity definition. Like if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're not getting the result that you think you should, obviously that's insanity. But if you're doing the same things over and over and over and over again, you're going to have a result, especially if you stick to it. For me, it was definitely the seed oils for sure, and bread and pasta. So again, I'll just talk about, that'll be a whole ass episode by itself, but I just wanted to like get you guys just an information on what I will be talking about, what topics I'll touch on. And I want you to give me feedback of things that you'd like me to talk about or you'd like to hear my opinion on, because I will not be talking a lot of in-depth stuff on my social media platforms. This will be where I will express myself a lot more versus like on Snapchat or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok just about every single day. So that's where you're going to see me the most. And I'll just be doing fun stuff and like ranting, and because, my traffic rants are insane. But yeah. So for this first episode, where I know we're already 10 minutes in, I'm just giving you a rundown of everything that's going on in my life and what's happening. So I would love to sit here and take a minute to tell you about some goals that we're working on. So when we started the shop back in 2018, we had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea. We still kind of don't, but we're much further along than we were back in 2018. And with that being said, lots of changes have been happening, and I couldn't say that like I would change anything. There's some things that I would, of course, change. But a lot of this is all learning experience. It's new for us. We take every single moment as a learning experience, and that's what I try to do, especially for positivity. I try to be positive when things are not going the way that we think they should go, or and whatnot. It makes it so much. This being able to speak about it like this with you guys is making it so much more real and so much more like I can process the emotion through it. So some of those goals, we started the business and we had help, and then some stuff went down. So now we have some things we've got to do, and there's a debt for starting that at that moment. So we're working on paying down that debt. That's a lot of the reason why we're always on socials and we're just putting ourselves out there, making sure that we are trying to hit these goals and be very, what is the word? Present and productive. I don't ever want to be busy and then not be productive. I love being busy at the shop or with whatever I'm doing in work. I just want it to be productive as well. So, and that I keep hearing the work-life balance. Like, you don't need somebody. I think I saw, what was it? Dan Martell. I like his content. I really like how he pushes out that for the businesses, especially being fit and then being in business, because this all coincides together. My health and fitness coincides with me being in business, as well as like my thrifting and whatnot. So this all is all going to connect into one. But Dan Martell, he was talking about, my brain just left me. Look, you see that? That happens all the time. He talks about being fit in business, and there was something else he said too, and it's like gonna like drive me nuts. If you don't know who he is, I'll have to see if I can't get him in the show notes, like to do that, or you can go through my Instagram. I follow him on Instagram as well. But he is a phenomenal business, being able to be present into your business, being present in the now, being authentic. I think that's a lot of it too. Some people don't want you to be super authentic, or when you're in this business, they think you should be fake, or you've been programmed to be fake. We know people in our line of work, in the automotive industry, they do take advantage of customers. They take advantage of their employees. They do a lot of different things that we don't agree with. And they're in the pockets of a lot of different higher ups within the city that we're in, and the county as well. So that's a lot for us as a frustrating, because we just want to do the right thing for our customers. We want to do the right thing for our employees. But going back to that goal, we just have some debt to pay off for that first part, and then now we just have a little bit of debt to pay off. Just within the business, we literally sold our home and live in a camper, so we're trying to keep moving and going, and we love the tiny living, by the way. Tiny living, sometimes it gets irritating and annoying because you have to go through all the seasons, getting cold, make sure your pipes, if you don't have the all-weather pipes and all that stuff. So it's been a journey, but that's been fun. And I will talk about that too, on a later episode of the podcast. So I'll get more in depth of that. But we do love our tiny living. It's been different. It's been fun. We spend a lot more time with Lizzie Ray. It's awesome. But yeah, We started in 2018. By the way, I'm like jumping around. I'm gonna be jumping up and down, and I'll go into one and then my brain will leave me and then I'll go into another subject. So you'll have to excuse moi for that. But we love the tiny living, and we're just able to do more within our business that way as well, and work out. Obviously, we've got our health and wellness with that. It's been different. My brain, why is my brain doing this to me, you guys? My brain is like, hey B, hey, you're over here now. But yeah, I want you to tell, I just want to tell it like it is and give you what my brain is like, work through some of the things. Because sometimes when I say stuff out loud, I'm like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, maybe we shouldn't do that. If you don't already know, you know that I am pretty much blunt, straight to the point. If you ever see me in public and people are speaking around me, my face will usually tell you how I'm feeling. And one of my favorite compliments is that you don't have to worry about what you're thinking because your eyebrows will give you away. So when your girl raises her eyebrows, either something crazy is about to come out of her mouth, or yeah, I don't know what you can and can't say anymore online or on here. But again, I'll be as real and raw and authentic with you as possible with this, with what they'll let me. They'll be like, hey bitch, get off of here. You're getting kicked out of Spotify and everything. But yeah. I do want to touch on a couple of other things while I'm sitting here thinking about it. I have some amazing friends that have their own podcast. That is the Infinite Weekend podcast with Josh and Zach. And I went to school with Josh back in senior year of high school. And we've just kept in touch all through the years. And he's got his own podcast. He also has his own clothing brand, Dirt and Morons. He has been working so hard. They have been podcasting for way longer than I have. They are amazing. They are funny. If you want to do a little different podcast than mine, obviously mine's geared towards more of the women. But if you want to, I'm a guy's girl. So I love the Infinite Weekend podcast. I love all of that. That makes me laugh, until I about pee myself. Funny stories. They talk about real life as well, mostly gaming and movies. If you go over there, spoiler alert, do not listen to them unless you've watched movies recently. If you haven't watched all your recent movies, make sure you look for that spoiler alert over there, because they do talk about it, and it's fantastic. So go follow my friends over there at the Infinite Weekend podcast, and then go on to Instagram and follow them there, but as well as Dirt and Morons. That is Josh's clothing brand. So there's my shout out for them. I did a little shout out earlier for the Higher Up Wellness podcast. I love Michael Smoke. As you can see, again, I'm a guy's girl. The guys just kind of that's not the word I want to use. They're just more, I like that direct. I like their direct push. I like their direct derogatory funny. I like that. That is for me. I'm not saying that I'm not a girl's girl. I'm a girl's girl to my girls, if that makes sense. I'm a girl's girl to who I'm my girls. And obviously, if you're in a situation, even if I don't like you, I'm not going to leave you somewhere where you feel unsafe or where I feel like you're going to be unsafe. That is not who I am. Again, I am kind. I am just not nice. And I've said that plenty of times. You will hear me say it over and over again. So, but yeah, Michael Smoke, he is a fitness, he does personal training, coaching and personal training. I couldn't get my brain to wrap around it, but he does personal training and coaching. His information on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and as well as Spotify, is so informational, so helpful. I've been sending it over to my husband, and he has been watching it as well because he wants to do another marathon. You can go on and do those. I might do a 5K, but that's just because I know I can walk a 5K. I tried running this past summer. It wasn't in my ministry, and if you know, you know. It was not. I was not doing that. I love you guys. If you can run, If you like it, if you've done it, you do you, boo-boo, but it is not fry. No, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. So yeah, he's a good one to listen to. And of course, my all-time favorite is the Ultimate Human Podcast with Gary Brecka. If you don't like, I guess you either love him or you hate him, which is a me trait as well. You either love me or you hate me, and that's okay. But he is a human biologist, and he brings on so many cool people. He brings on doctors, influencers, business owners, regular people that he's touching lives to. He is the one, I started listening to him in late 2023. And he was just starting out with the 10X health program at that time. And then he went into the Ultimate Human Podcast. And that is who I've learned all of my morning sun information, breathing, which I knew the breathing from Wim Hof. So if you don't know who Wim Hof is, he does breathing and cold exposure as well. But Gary is the one that I actually like really listened to as far as that goes. So he did the morning sun breathing exercises, cold exposure, which is like the cold plunge or something like that. And then also the seed oils, as well as genetic testing. I have not done the genetic testing, but I do want to get down. This is my goal. That's why I said one of my goals is to get to Gary Brecka in Miami to do the gene test. And Justin and I both want to do that gene test. That is such a goal that I want to get done by the end of the year this year. So with you watching and listening, you are helping me reach that goal. So I'm super excited about it. I do want to be on other podcasts. I want other people to be on my podcast, just to hang out and talk about just real life things, and what's going on with them. But yeah, I'm trying to think where my brain was going with that. But yeah, those are the top three that I do want to shout out right now. They're just, again, Josh and Zach. Josh and Zach are great friends. And they're friends of mine. I'm not gonna say good friends of mine because we don't hang out on a daily basis or on a weekly basis or anything like that. But I do keep up with them through social media, and I get to see Josh out and about with his wife a lot. So, she's a fellow thrifter. Love it. But yeah, and then I'm also gonna touch on look. I gotta look for my notes. See, even your girl needs notes every so often. But yeah. Oh, and we're going to talk about sales. I keep saying I'm talking about myself and getting this first episode out of just like what you're going to hear in the other episodes. Here's the thing. I'm going to go off on all kinds of side tangents, side stories, talk about my friends. Both of my best friends are getting married. I'm so excited. I can finally say it out loud, and I can say it on this podcast. I'm so glad I waited, because if I had to hold in that one of my besties was getting married on a podcast, I'd die, because I'd already slipped up. I already did a boo-boo on one of them, so I was like, nope, I'm just keeping my mouth shut. But both of my bestie girls, Angela and Katie, are getting married. I don't know when Angela's getting married this year, or if she's getting married this year, but she is engaged. Yay to her and Adam. I'm so excited. And then my other bestie, Katie, she is getting married at the end of the year, and I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. You have no clue. You have no idea. So now I have to make sure I keep up with the seed oils and the no bread and the no pasta, because my girl is a bougie girl, and I've got to fit in a dress and look the part, okay? Because I'm a short, thick, chunky girl compared to her. So yeah, there's that. But I'm excited for them, and that's a lot of the real life things that I want to talk about, of the excitement of my besties getting married, and what that future is going to hold for all of us, and especially as we get adults. Man, we're adults back from school. All our friends back from school most of them have children, are married, have families, are going through life themselves. So, it's just nice to be able to relate to people, and not feel like you're you're going through it alone. So I'm so excited. I'm trying to think of like making sure that I touch every single subject before I let you go for this first episode. That way you know what to expect in the coming episodes. So yeah, I feel like this is a movement. But yeah, don't forget, by the way, don't forget. I'm a cusser. Crazy stuff's going to be talked about. You're going to get to know a little bit more about me if you don't already know me. If you don't know what that's from, we can't be friends. So there's that. Oh, but yeah, I got to get water. I'm sorry, you guys. And Athena is over here being all crazy. But anyway. Oh, TikTok shop, by the way. TikTok shop, it'll get you in trouble if you're not careful. But I got the new manual suction cup, and it's nice. It's been helping me with my content a lot lately. Like a lot. Oh, yes. Also need to tell you, my Linktree, whenever you go to Linktree, it's got all of my stuff on there. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. I'm like mentally looking at my Linktree of what the links are in there. At the very bottom link, I have my modeling portfolio. So if you know any brands that need a brand ambassador, you can send them that link. Or if you have somebody just needing a photo shoot or needing a certain type of person. By the way, when you go in there, did you know that if you're over 30, you're told that you're a mature model? I was this much upset about it. And then I was okay with it because it considered me mature. Knowing good and damn well I'm not the most mature person ever. Okay? Also, we're going to talk about in one of these episodes how some of these people have they get to a certain age and then they stop aging, or when they aged way too fast. We're going to talk about that, okay? But yeah. We're going to talk, I don't want to say I'm going to talk about politics. I may mention some politics in my episodes, but it's not going to be like the first and foremost thing in my episodes or in my repertoire of discussion. So there's that. But yeah, I think I've touched every subject that I may be hitting on in the future episodes for episode 1. I'm excited to go on this journey with you. The next episode will be the episode number 2. And we're going to deep dive into some shop talk, some customer service stuff, and just really maybe discuss how you should or shouldn't act as a customer, because as a consumer myself, and I'll switch between customer, consumer, and client because there are different definitions for them. And as a consumer myself, I know how I should be acting, but also as a business owner or someone running a business, I know how that side is too. So that'll be episode 2, just really talking about how, like, when you run a business as a business owner, how you feel like you should act. And then I'll give you some stories about what happened with some of our customers. And I may have some information or some other customer service stories from when I was in the service industry as well. So, yay. Thanks for hanging out with me on my very first episode of the Feral Femme CEO Podcast. If you want to give me some suggestions for topics that you'd like to hear me talk about, especially in the business side for the next episode, message them over to me. I will gladly take them in and put them in my notes. Also, go to my Linktree. I'll see if I can't make sure to put that in a link somewhere within the description of this episode. But yes, go to my Linktree, go to all my socials and follow and share, and then share this once you get to it on Spotify. And yeah, do the things. Do the things. Okay, love you, bye.